Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of FX's The Strain. And this week's episode was entitled The Silver Angel. Obviously, episode 4 of season 2. And probably my least favorite episode of the season so far. I'm not going to bash it too much, though. It's not like it was a bad episode or anything like that, but compared to what we've gotten so far of the season, I will say it's probably one of the lesser ones at this point. Now it may change the further we get into the season. Maybe we'll see some worse ones. I hope not. But overall, not a bad episode, but sort of lower for Strain standards, I think. But we did get a couple of good points to this, which I'll get to. But the episode title, like it was referred to, is called The Silver Angel. We got a pretty bizarre, sort of odd opening to the episode. We basically got this 3-5-minute thing showing this old movie about a masked luchador wrestler, vanquishing and trying to, stop vampires and things like that. And then, we see this guy, he had been watching these tapes, obviously the actor who played the luchador hero in the movie. He is called back up because break's over, and we see he has this whole stack of tapes. Because apparently he was a movie star at one point, and now, something happened to put him down on his luck, and he's sort of like longing for his glory days. And that sort of reminds me of Better Call Saul in a way. I haven't mentioned that show in a while. I never got past episode 6 of that. I did like Better Call Saul, by the way, but I just didn't care for it for various reasons because, it's just kind of predictable as to these characters would survive the situation because they're on Breaking Bad. But this isn't a video about Better Call Saul right now, but that Silver Angel thing did tie in later. As we've seen Gus, he's just wandering. And, it's a shame we don't see the aftermath of what happened, with the failed kidnapping of Eldridge Palmer last week. With, Vaughn and, his squad, looking like they were pretty much killed. And we didn't really see the finality of that. I have expected to see grinning Palmer over their bodies or something, but they didn't show us anything about that. I'm not sure if we'll see more of what actually happens to them later, or just see their bodies laying there or something. But I still was kind of bothered by that. It kind of felt like a waste of especially Vaughn's character, the one who spoke for the ancients, to be killed off like that. It just felt like a bit of an anticlimax. And the thing about that is, I haven't read the books or the comics or anything like that, but I did hear that originally he was supposed to be this character named Mr. Quinlan or something. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. And, apparently he is of some high importance later. And at first I read that Vaughn was going to be that, a version of that character, but then as they got in season 2, they changed his name to Vaughn, as they didn't say what his name was in season 1, so they could get away with changing it in their minds. And so apparently that Mr. Quinlan character is going to come later on. I would have preferred it if they just kept Vaughn as that version of the character, as the TV series version of the character. I just thought he was one of the more interesting ones on the show. I think he was a fan favorite along with Gus and, Fett and stuff like that. But, oh well. I just hope Quinlan kicks ass later on whenever he does show up. But anyway, back to the Silver Angel thing. Like I said, Gus is kind of wandering around, and we see that, he goes into this Indian, Mexican type of Spanish restaurant. I forget what it is, sorry. But, we see that the Silver Angel guy is a dishwasher there, and he seems like he keeps on giving Gus looks, and Gus orders some food. He's unfamiliar with it, so he just orders, whatever their closest thing is they can make to spaghetti. But yeah, I never said why it reminded me of Better Call Saul, did I? But yeah, it reminded me of the first episode of Better Call Saul because, he's seen that flash forward of Saul, after Breaking Bad, how he was looking at his old Better Call Saul commercials, and it just sort of reminded me of that. But anyway, I'm going to try to stay on track now. But, and it was kind of odd because nothing much really came from it. I mean, Gus ended up recognizing Silver Angel because, obviously they're both Mexican, Spanish, so of course Gus would happen to recognize him, right? I guess. But, so Gus talks to him outside, and, Silver Angel sort of just, tells him to leave him alone and, never come back. But, apparently the Silver Angel is a somewhat important character in the books. I'm not sure exactly what a older, middle-aged, nearly senior citizen with a former wrestler with a bad knee is going to do in a vampire apocalypse. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe the character will turn into something special on the show, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't like the actor. The actor is probably, it seems pretty solid, but I just don't see the greater purpose of this character on the show yet. But who knows? Maybe it'll surprise me. And we did get some very, very good stuff with Gus. Besides that, this week, that wasn't very good stuff with Gus, but we did get some more character connecting moments with Gus this week as he went back to the apartment, to his mom's apartment. We seen in season 1. Remember, he had locked her. He had wasn't able to kill her after he was forced to kill his brother. And we seen him return to the apartment, and he still wasn't able to put his mother down. And we actually see the master talk to him through his mother, which is just going to completely screw with his head if it wasn't already messed up completely. And master basically just taunts him, and the voice is kind of hard to understand when the master takes over, but it's more clear than it was in season 1, I think. And so that part was really cool. Again, we feel for Gus at this point. And it's going to be interesting to see, how he gets brought back into our main group eventually. I know it's going to happen at some point, but I'm just sort of waiting for it here. And if he's going to completely have his ties severed with the Ancients, or if he's going to be, kind of pulled back into it. We'll see about that. But anyway, also what's going to happen when Abraham realizes that the ones he spoke to at the beginning of the season are dead. If he is going to still try to signal them, I don't know. But, so there's that. And we also see Eph and Nora. They had been going around trying to test this new infection they're going to use to fight the infected. And we see that they're studying one of the test subjects, the husband that they released, to see the effects on him. And we see that what they had made actually works, and it slowly does kill the Strigoi. And so it looks like next week they're going to be trying to take it to Washington and have the military use that as a weapon to actually fight this thing, and they feel like you can stop the plague at this point with it if it's used right. And that's probably true, but we know it's not going to go perfectly like that. So that should still be interesting, though. And someone that I want to talk about, I haven't talked about much, is the I forget her name, the lady going around actually doing something about this vampire, epidemic going on. She's actually having them killed off. She's trying to clear sections of the city and stuff like that. I do like that. I like there's actually someone in the government, and like a government type of character that isn't completely blockheaded or blind or completely weak to what's going on. I know she probably won't last long because we've seen the other lady who tried to go up against Icorst and Palmer last season. She was thrown off the building. But I'm wondering if she's going to have a different fate. We'll see. Take care of my cat for a second. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, yeah, so I think her character is semi-interesting too. But one of my other favorite parts of this week, besides the Gus scene with his mother and the master, had to be Eph taking out Zach, to try and just have fun with him, bring back some innocence for him, just to let the kid have a decent time, And he takes him to this batting cage, they had used to go to, and he is still, together with Kelly. And, Zach just misses every swing with the batting machines. And, it just causes Zach to flashback. We see, a brief flashback to when they were actually there. And that was kind of touching. I actually did feel for Zach a little bit this time. I know I've been kind of critical of Max Charles in the role, and I still kind of am. I still wish they had the original actor back from season 1. And he's still not like really impressing me very much, but I did feel for him more in this scene than I have so far this season. So there's that. So and let's see what else. We also seen a Palmer flashback, with Abraham as they were actually working together at one point. And we've seen their continued search for the book, and one of their failed attempts, obviously, to find it. We got some good flashback story action too, with the younger Abraham, and we see the first time Palmer had met Icorst as well. And when Abraham returns to Palmer, we see that after Icorst had talked to Palmer, he had basically corrupted his mind and pretty much. Sorry about this. I just want to show you her real quick. Here she is. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Back to the review. Like I said, when in the flashback, when Abraham had returned to Palmer, and we see after the talk he had with Icorst that Abraham hadn't known about at that point, we've seen that's when Palmer was pretty much like brought into the fold, or like brought into the other side of this cause, this thing that's going on. So that was somewhat good. Again with the other Palmer Abraham flashbacks we've got in the season, it does make it feel more at home with the conflict going on between Palmer and Abraham now. How they're on completely different sides of the fence on this at this point. So it does give us more history for that, but this was probably one of the lesser needed ones, I'd think. But it just kind of felt like it was, I don't want to say filler, but almost not really needed. But still, again, not badly done. I did like the Strigoi action they included, so it was alright. Also, we seen Fett. He had been disagreeing with Eph and Nora about. Apparently, I gotta let my cat out again. Once again, sorry. My cat is very indecisive at night for some reason. But, we've seen that Fett had been disagreeing with Eph and Nora. They've been going at it from a completely more scientific, biological angle, and Fett's strategy is a bit more practical. And, we've seen that he had blown up, a part of the subway tunnel, so, just to cut off the Stragoi's path, and that could obviously compromise them or potentially eliminate them depending on if they really need that route or not. That should do some damage to them and some help for them, help for our survivors obviously. So but Fett had actually crossed paths with appears to be authority figures. We'll probably find out who these guys really are next week. But Fett throws a punch at one of them after sort of taunting them, which is kind of funny. But, they take them, and so we'll see where they bring them next week. And one other thing I wanted to mention was the ending. Once again, we've seen that Kelly and sort of her blind, formerly blind Strigoi vampire minions, little children that have been turned into vampires. We've seen that they had arrived at the batting cages that Eph had taken Zach to earlier. And, they're basically just getting a better scent, more of a path as to where Zach is, so they're getting closer. So I imagine within the next couple episodes, hopefully, we'll see. My cat's at the door again. Once again, sorry about that, guys. It's even more annoying for me, trust me, but I love her. But yeah. So I'm hoping within the next few episodes we'll see Kelly actually locate Zach, and we'll see someone go down with that. And yeah, so that's basically what I have to say about this week's episode. Overall, not a bad episode by any means. Like Penny Dreadful and the Strain. I was always saying when I was reviewing season 2 of Penny Dreadful earlier, that even when it's a slower, slightly less uneventful episode, there's still like a certain quality to it. And I'd like to say that same thing about the Strain, but it's definitely not the same level as Penny Dreadful. Don't take it that far. Penny Dreadful just pretty much blows anything out of the water at this point. But the Strain, even when it has a weaker episode like this, it's still a decent one. So yeah, overall not a bad episode, but just one of the lesser ones of the season. And yeah, so I still enjoyed it. And yeah, so if there's anything else that I forgot to mention or you want me to talk about more, feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to discuss it with you guys. And yeah, so add me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Movie Pilot, and look for me on Spoil the Dead. Catch you guys next time, and peace.